What's good, YouTube? Hey, this actually my first video on this channel. I got a few other channels on YouTube, but I wanted to have this channel be my I guess story time and I guess current events type channel. So in the back you see some Helldivers gameplay. And I'll probably just have other videos playing like video games or maybe like reactions. I don't know. We'll see where things kind of head off to. But for this channel, this is gonna be how I almost got killed by my ex Latina girlfriend's stepdad. Okay, so we're gonna take this back to 2020. Yeah, 2020. I had just got out of high school with my ex, who we were together for a year and a half. And after I got out of that relationship, I was not looking for a girlfriend. After I was looking for a girlfriend, my favorite spot used to be Burger King. So when I used to go to Burger King, I see, it'd be Hispanics in there. Everybody knows it'd be Hispanics in there. So I go in there and I give me some food. And there was this girl. She was smiling at me. So I'm like, hey. And I really was in the mood to talk to her. But I was like, hey. And I just got, I got my Whopper meal. I'm cheap. I use coupons and whatnot. So I get my food. And she just smiling. So I was like, you know what? I don't got time for this. After I get home, so you know what? I should slide back her number because she was, kind of digging me. I said, all right, shoot, I'm gonna slide back to her. I basically went there. She gave me her Snapchat. So we talked later that night, and she was a freak. Like, first time I talked to her, she was on something else. But anyway, moving on. That's not really important right now. It's kind of adult version, but we're not going to go on that. But so moving on, we had we talked a little bit, and I remember she had told me a few times. She was like, yeah, my parents, they don't like black people. Now this girl was from Honduras, so if you know anything about in America, Mexicans or any Hispanics, they don't claim anything that's melanated, no black, nothing. Dominicans, I know black, I Dominican. Everybody knows that. So I had I'm talking to her. I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy. But she still want to talk. So we talked like a lot of times. Everything was cool. We met up at the mall one time, and she had told me, we really can't, she had a brother, actually, who I was in the same class as him. But she was saying, if her brother found out, then, he would go tell, their parents. Which, I said, damn, okay, well, I thought he was cool, but okay, no problem. So we kept meeting up. And I had actually, believe it or not, used to go to her house, but I would stay outside. After I went to her house, everything was good. And surprisingly, her stepdad actually found out that we was texting each other. I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know why, but he found out. So he would text me, hey, Hispanics and blacks don't belong together. And by the way, a lot of Hispanics that are not from America, they don't speak really good English. So he was just talking broken English. So I'm like, okay. He like, yeah, Hispanics don't belong together, and I will call the police on you, and I will make them kill you, which is kind of crazy. At that time, I was young and dumb, so I'm like, man, why he so mad? But I don't know. He was, I guess, he kind of weird. But moving on. So after that, she had texted me. Well, we actually got on the phone. She told me, she said, hey, my parents actually threatened to kick me out if we keep talking. So no one would know me on this channel. Well, no one would know me. So But if you do know me in person, you'll know that I'm like a very, you know, I guess you could say not really nice guy, but I'm aware of others. So I said, you sure you want to talk? She said, yeah. I said, what the world? This girl's crazy. Man, one time went to her house. I went in there. Well, I didn't go in there bad. I was outside, and we would always, when we met up with each other, we would just have some adult time. And she had actually we it was cool. But like typically, I would go over there for about like an hour. We would do her thing, we'll talk, and then I would leave because it was dark where she lived at, and it's kind of bad. If you know about being out late nights, it's kind of unsafe. So I'll say, hey, I gotta go. And, she said, well, can you stay for like 20 more minutes? So I said, okay. Now I knew in my gut something was about to happen, but I said, you know what? I'm just gonna stay. Why not? All I see is car pull up, and she's like, Doug. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna duck. Like this is my car. Like, I'm not gonna duck. It's okay. A dude knocked on the door, 3 knocks. I said, oh man, there's only one type of person knocks that way, the police. So she said, so the police officer, my bad, the guy, he had asked me, hey, license registration? No. First I said, hello officer, like, is everything okay? He told me, he said, no man, you're parked in the road. So I said, okay. I said, I'll move. I'll move, no problem. And he like, can I see a license? And at this time, I had a provisional license. So in terms of Maryland, that means that your ass will be inside the house by 12 o'clock. Well, it was like 1:30, so I was kind of deep water. So she had actually she didn't have a license at the time. So basically if what's it called? If you don't have a license, they have to make sure you get home. So I'm like, damn. And long story short, also he said, okay, y'all can basically say goodbye, because she wasn't trying to tell him where she stayed at, but basically with the police, just let them know what it is, just so you can keep on, keep about your day. And I said, hey sir, she lives right there. I said she can just walk right to her house, like call it a day. All I know is he turned lights on when he drove into her driveway, and I texted her. I said, "Are you okay?" I didn't get no text back, so I waited because it was like a 30-minute drive home anyway. So I waited 30 minutes, and I didn't hear anything. Wait for like another 20 minutes. I didn't hear nothing. So I go to sleep. Well, while I was sleeping, she was getting her ass whooped, and I mean it was bad. Like it was really bad. But yeah, she got beat so much that she threw up. She threw up, and they had thought she was pregnant. And like I said, sad story. They kicked her out. So when I woke up, mind you, I mean it was worse, but just either if anybody has questions, just text it in comments, and I'll respond to whatever I say. But she had actually got kicked out, and they had took her phone. So she had texted me. She said, "Hey, my parents are going to take my phone. If whenever you wake up, just try to come find me." So so she called me like 16 times. Her mom called me like 15 times, and she had called me like 16 times on Instagram too. So, I didn't hear none of that. So I wake up, and I'm driving around for her, driving around, trying to look for her. I couldn't find her. And I felt bad because I'm like, man, it's all because of me. Now looking back at it, it was kind of because of her. I was part of it, but she kind of should have known better a little bit too. But moving on. I'm looking for her, I can't find her. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go home. Cause I was out for like 2, 3 hours just driving around. And yep, that's when my grandma called me, and I asked did I know the girl, and the girl came into like the store, cause I used to work at a gas station. They said yeah, she came in and said that's my girlfriend. And her stepdad had beat her, and after he beat her, you know, they had when she went to the store, they had got the police to go to the house, and they had came in and locked them up. So the girl's mom was like, "Oh, you got my husband arrested," and mind you, her English broken too. So she's like, "You got my husband took prisoner. You know, I hate you." And I'm like, man, what the world's wrong with these people? Which is crazy because I ain't do anything to them. But yeah, it's it's kind of bad out here for some of these folks. But um, yeah, they send me death threats, and we're gonna make sure you die, and my question was, you know, all because I'm talking to the daughter, or and the guy since his stepdaughter's kind of weird. I don't know why. I don't know why he had a problem with that, but I've learned in my lifetime in a lot of cultures, if you dance out your race, people will they'll be really upset. Sometimes they'll go to the extreme of killing people, or even just even going to the lengths of assault, to property damage. It gets bad out here, but um, yeah, I was gonna say that's a quick little story about how I almost died, and well, I won't say that. Well, I could have got into a really sticky situation, but other than that, if you guys like more story times, I mean crazy story times. Well, I would say crazy story times, but if you get like more story times, put in the comments. Um, if that's something that you'll be willing to watch, and I'm trying to grow this channel to I don't know however many subscribers. Well, like I said, off of this video or a few videos, I'll see where it goes, and we can go from there. But yeah, that's all for now. Um, yeah. If y'all want, it's about 2 minutes left of this gameplay if you want to watch it. But if not, this is the end of the story, and yeah, let me know in the comments if y'all liked it, and tell me what I can do better, or tell me, just tell me anything. Tell me if you ever had a crazy experience with, maybe, your ex girlfriend's parents was crazy, or they ever lied on you. Just say anything. And I think that's what they was trying to do, lie on me and say that I did something so I could get locked up at a record. But yeah, and also what I added in. Also, after she had got kicked out of her place, I felt really really compelled to bring her into my house, which I said my mom. So I was like, hey mom, could she come over? And basically my grandma said, hey, well, since they're kind of doing that to her, imagine what they'll do to you. And at the time, I'm like, well, I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure she's okay. But now looking back at it, yeah, I should have left her alone a long time ago, because man, a lot of guys get messed up over females, and sometimes it don't even be worth it. So man, I should have left her way long ago. But yep, they said if that can happen to her, imagine what could happen to you. Man, stuck me ever since. But yeah, just let me know in the comments what you got to think about this video, and I will surely be posting more. If this video gets just 5 likes, if this video gets 5 likes, I'll definitely do more story times, and let you guys know a little about my life, the craziness, and Yeah. Um, yeah. So y'all have a nice day wherever y'all watch from. Y'all take it easy and see ya.